Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number 207 DV. This is a dark bronze anodized aluminum residential threshold, fixed vinyl top type. And it's a nice, attractive sort of threshold, there's no doubt. This is going to be used typically on in-swinging doors. You're going to have a vinyl insert that's here. That's just black vinyl, and black is typical for the D finish, which is dark bronze. Before we go on with the threshold, let's find out the other part numbers that this is available in. Certainly going to be available in the mill finish aluminum as well, but let's test that. Might be available also in gold. As I'm waiting for the reference material to come up, there is an option on the right side for a water pan. Water pan is nothing beyond a very thin piece of sheet metal, whether it be aluminum or bronze. And the concept of that sort of material is to basically just be a trough that will sit underneath the threshold and completely concealed. Should any moisture get underneath it, which would be uncommon but not impossible, it will at least collect on top of the piece of sheet metal rather than sit on the sill. The aluminum water pan is so inexpensive, in my opinion, that you could discard it should you decide not to use it. But water pans are a great idea, whether it's threshold installation, a window installation. I've seen lots of rotted sills. 10 years, with not a proper seal, water collecting, pooling, sitting. It will rot the sill condition. There's no doubt about it. I think that the aluminum water pan is an easy piece of insurance to buy in terms of that. Now, the other finishes, you're going to have an A finish for mill aluminum, D finish for dark bronze like this one, and G for gold anodized. All that's aluminum. Now back to the threshold. You see some stuff that's hanging out here. It's normal that the vinyl is going to be long. Now this threshold, and one reason that I'm partial to this, being a relatively inexpensive threshold, are these vinyl boots that are down here, pressed into the feature of the extrusion. So what that allows you to do is sit that down and maybe forego caulking the bottom of a threshold, and just let that vinyl boot help keep the moisture out. Okay, I like that a lot. A lot of their thresholds will feature this sort of vinyl boot insert, but the idea behind it is that you're not running a bead of caulk down below. Okay. Now, there is an image below this video showing the important dimensional properties of this threshold. Let's review that now. You can see that the threshold is 3.5 inches wide. That is indeed the case. You have a total height of 1 1/8. You have 7/8 of the threshold here. And then when you include the vinyl insert, you're going to be at 1 1/8 overall height. Okay, right there. Now, where are the screw holes? This is going to ship loose. Screw holes are underneath, and that's where the potential for water intrusion might come in. And speaking of those screw holes, these screws, there are indeed screws included. Okay, so the screws are going to be included. They're about a 10 by 2 inch maybe, flathead wood screw in a complementary finish. You'll obviously get that attached down in there. Slide that back over the top of it. This is available in several different lengths in the website. If you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces, and simply indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. Now the reasoning is this: if you had to take this 48-inch threshold and cut it down to 42-inch, I suppose, you'd eliminate that dimple that's there. You'd be stuck drilling another hole. Not the end of the world, but you'll want it countersunk, and sometimes that's more of a challenge. It could also be that you just don't want to cut the threshold when it arrives. The factory's cutting these from long extrusions anyway, 12 feet, 14 feet, whatever they are. 48 and 42 to them is the same number. It doesn't really matter. They're going to cut it to whatever you specify. This stuff will always run long. That's typical. You're going to trim that with a utility blade, that sort of thing, after installation. But the important thing to know are the dimensional properties. At 3.5, that 1.1 overall height. Your door undercut's going to need to be about 1.16. You don't want an excessive amount of rub that's going to happen there. If you're getting down below an 1 inch, that's going to be pretty tight. But something in that range, I think you can make work. Generally, you're going to see this as the exterior with the fluted top. It would be very appropriate for you to add a door sweep out here so that you will stop the intrusion further out from the door, and then rely on this to seal the bottom of the door. You really don't want this to be the only seal, because if it's encountering the vinyl, it's already under the door. That's not ideal for you at all. Now, the name Pemko is synonymous with all things weather stripping related, not only residential thresholds like this, but of course commercial thresholds, door sweeps, perimeter gasketing, astragals, weather stripping that you'll use in windows. They have a comprehensive offering of both residential and commercial weather stripping. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up the full Pemko catalog and review all things weather stripping related from Pemko, a company to which I'm partial to. They have the single broadest spectrum of weather stripping that I've really ever witnessed from one manufacturer. And plus they have excellent customer service, technical support. It all combines to make Pemko a good choice. If you have any questions on the Pemko, this is their part number 207DV, fixed vinyl top aluminum threshold, or any other Pemko product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.